The next topic is historical change in sectors. At initial stages of development, olden days, we used to say parents, grandparents, their main occupation was agriculture and related activities. Yes, it's true. At initial stages of development, 75 to 80 or most of them are dependent on primary sector. Nowadays only we do have this type of computers and all types of services, hotels, communication and games and what all things you know very well than me. So initial stages primary sector was important. Agriculture. As the methods of farming change and agriculture sector began to prosper, it produced much more food than before. Yes. Now people could take up other activities. Not everyone is engaged in agriculture. It leads to disguised unemployment also, that we learnt in Standard 9. As mechanization, products are increased, buying and selling activities increased, and we now need transporters, administrators, and many service sectors. Most of goods produced were natural products from the primary, and most people were employed in that sector. That's already we told. Over a long time, more than 100 years, and especially because of new methods of manufacturing were introduced. Factories, new methods of manufacturing. Please note it down. New methods of manufacturing were introduced. Factories came up and started expanding. And those people who had earlier worked on farms now began to work in factories in large numbers. People began to use many more goods that were produced in factories at cheap rates. Secondary sector became the most important total production employment. So secondary sector became important in due course of time. The reasons we highlighted now itself. Transporters and services of the administrators and new methods of manufacturing and factories, and many people worked on farms now began to work in factories in large numbers. They began to use many more goods that were produced factories at cheap rates. What's the word meaning of cheap? Opposite is expensive. Cheap, very low rates it's available. And as a result, secondary sector became important. Hence, over time again shift had taken place. This means that importance of the sectors had changed. Now, fourth point. In the past 100 years, there's been a further shift from now primary to secondary. Now, a further shift from secondary to tertiary. My God, what all facilities we are enjoying now. From secondary to tertiary. That is, we know already. So, tertiary sector is what? So, aid, support, isn't it? So, service sector. Most important in terms of total production. It has become very important. Most of the working people are employed in the service sector. This is a general pattern now we can observe in developed countries. What's the total production employment? This is sectors, 3 sectors. There have been changes similar to the pattern in India also. Observe for developed countries and Indian context also. Indian context, the statisticians drawn the graph by comparing GDP of primary, secondary and tertiary of 73 to 2003. Refer the page number, textbook page number 24, and we are supposed to draw the diagram in the notebook. Comparison of GDP 73 and 2003. When we see the diagram, analyze the diagram, sometimes they give the diagram, they are telling us to Analyze the diagram. In 73, primary sector was high and secondary sector in between and tertiary sector was little more. So highest contribution from primary sector in 73. Now when we look at the 2003, the latest trends also, primary sector has come down, secondary sector also has come down. Meanwhile, the importance of tertiary sector has gone up. It's very clearly analyzed using the graphs. 73 and 2003 comparison, that is bar graphs. We learned in maths the same way only, drawing the diagram. No need of graph sheets. We can draw in the notebook itself. Comparison and analysis. Primary, secondary and tertiary sector. From 2003 onwards, we can see the rising importance of which sector from the bar graph? That is tertiary. T-E-R-T-I-A-R-Y, or service sector. Why? How? Over these years, between 73 to 2003, or the latest trends, production in all the three sectors, production in all the three sectors increased, no doubt. People also, number of people. In the year 2003, or the latest trends, the tertiary sector has emerged as the largest producing sector in India. Tertiary sector, highest produced sector. Why and how? That's a good question. At the textbook exercise page number also we do have the same question. What are the reasons? So please note down this question. That is rising importance of the tertiary sector in production. Why and how? First point is, in any country, several services such as hospitals, services, education institutions, post and telegraph services, police stations, and courts, village administrative offices, etc., etc., municipal corporation, and our defense of the country. That's very important. Transport. Every point, every example has to be learned. Transport, banks, insurance. We know different types of insurance. Fire, life and marine insurance. All are required, etc. required, and these can be considered as basic services. Please underline it. That's very important value word. Basic services. So in a developing country, the government has to take responsibility. Government. Now at this context also, this epidemic or the coronavirus time also, government has taken high responsibility for the provision of these services. Secondly, the development of agriculture is also related. Development of agriculture and industry leads to the development of services. Development of services such as already mentioned things like transport, trade, storage, etc. So greater the development of the primary and secondary sectors, more would be the development for the country, and demand for such service also increased. Got the idea? Once again, shall we repeat? Development of agriculture industry leads to development of services. Examples are transport, trade, storage, and greater development of primary and secondary sectors would be the demand for the other service also increasing. Thirdly, as income levels rise, certain sections of people start demanding. As income levels increasing, we know that sections of people demanding many more services. People demand many more services like eating out and putting the waste basket, going out and that barrel jizza and what all kinds of services we are enjoyed. 3-star hotels, 4-star, 5-star hotels, like that. So, tourism, shopping, private hospitals, professional training. We know that because of this epidemic or coronavirus, how it affected our countries altogether. So, we can understand that as income levels rise, people demand many more services. Tourism goes up, hotel services, and shopping malls and whatnot, private hospitals. Costly also, we are ready to pay more and get facilitated. And private schools, professional training, so on, so forth. So this changed quite sharply in cities, especially in big cities. And over the past decades, fourthly, news such as those based on your favorite concept and idea of information and communication technology. Oh my God. Without this, how this new generation will live? Information and communication technology have become important and not only becomes essential, no doubt. That's why we are able to conduct classes like this also. Production of this service has been rising rapidly. Production of this service has been rising or going up rapidly. So, we are getting a good question today. Which sector's importance has gone up? Answer is tertiary sector. Why? How? Which are the main points? First point, basic services and the development of agriculture industry. So demand for the tertiary sector again increased. Agriculture and industry. Again income levels has gone up. That's why again demand for service sector has gone up. Again information communication technology has gone up. So and it has become essential now. So if I say the main value point in mnemonics form is that memory tactics BI cubed. B stands for basic services. I stands for industry and agriculture. Again I stands for income levels have gone up. It's all connected. And again I stands for our favorite ICT. So BI cubed. This is the answer for your essay of 5 marks. Rising importance of which sector and why and how. And we are getting assignment today. Textbook exercise, page number 36. Question numbers 9 and 12 related to tertiary sector. How is tertiary sector different from other sectors with examples? Tertiary sector, 12th question. Tertiary sector is not playing any significant role in the development economy of Indian economy. Do you agree? Give reason in support of your answer. We cannot agree with that, isn't it? After learning this much important points, we can say service sector has contributed a lot, mainly from 2003 onwards. One more question, that is previous one from the textual exercise. Question number 6 also. Just see to it. These two questions, you can write the answers in the notebook. Sixth question, simply write the question in the notebook and write the answer as mentioned above in the column wise. That sixth question in our textbook it is, do you think the classification economy activities into primary, secondary and tertiary is useful? If yes, explain how. Yes, it is. Yes only. and it is primary, second, tertiary, and same answer only, no need of writing once again. Learn once again and make it more better. Okay, thank you, all the best.